are you going to intro this?
Me?
No, you don't know how to do it.
All right, I'll intro. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast.
Hey!
I am your co-host. Co-co-host. Co-co-co-host.
I was like, is he ever trying to remember his name?
I'm Zach. Dylan and Gab.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it. I got everyone's names. That's it.
Do we just
Wrap
roll
it
with
up.
that?
Yeah, right.
I'm happy with it. This is great. Zach is back.
Zach, what movie are you here to talk about today? You suggested it.
Training Day.
From
Ooh.
2001, starring
Ethan Hawke
and
Denzel Washington.
And Tuco.
Tuco from Breaking Bad also.
Yes. Now, I am going to tell you straight up from the jump. I thought Training Day was going to be a football movie. Now, I don't know if it's because Training Day, right? Like we're training for something.
Denzel.
Or if it's because of
Remember the Titans?
Oh, that wasn't you. Yeah, like roughly around the same time as Remember the Titans. I was gonna say, what was the stupid football movie that Frank recommended that was terrible? The Replacements. For some reason I conflated that with Zach's the one with all the lying. What was
Football
that?
also has Training Camp, Wild Things you're thinking of.
Wild Things. So I conflated those two movies. I thought this was gonna be a football movie.
I'll never introduce a sports movie to this podcast. That's not going to happen. It's not my
Okay.
thing.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
Fan. You would maybe do The Fan.
I did.
No, you would, I feel like.
Oh, it was pretty
With
good.
De Niro and Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
Whatever. I guess we have to ask Zach in a succinct way. What is Training Day about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
Explain!
As you would a child.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
Training Day is about a rookie police officer, Ethan Hawke, who is sort of a do-gooder kind of Boy Scout kind of guy. And he gets introduced to this new unit, which is, undercover narcotics kind of stuff. And it's Denzel Washington is a very gruff and seasoned veteran cop who plays by his own rules. And, we see what happens when he takes his training day, boom, with this new cop and hijinks and hilarity and serious nature things, actually.
Yeah, not that much
And so,
hilarity.
yeah, there is hijinks, but it's
Drugs and violence.
drugs and violence.
Well, that is not verbatim from the IMDb plot summary, so I'll read that.
It's not. I'm shocked.
Wait, Zach, I'm going to need you to stall for 20 seconds because that's the plot summary of Midnight in Paris.
Wait, what I just said?
No, just give me a second.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, can I
yeah.
read the plot summary? Well, on a trip to Paris with his fiance's family, a nostalgic screenwriter finds himself mysteriously going back to the 20s every day at midnight. I don't recall any of this shit from the movie, so I must have been wasted.
A rookie cop spends his first day as a Los Angeles narcotics officer with a road detective who isn't what he appears to be. My bad,
Oh,
y'all.
When the fuck did we go to Paris?
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Hilarity definitely ensues. I want to also say that Corey and I watched this and he said to me, I saw this in the movie theaters. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then as the movie went
I don't
on,
think he would have been.
I was like, who took you to see this movie? And he goes, I don't know. I guess I was with my dad. And I was like, how did you turn out so well? Like, what the fuck?
how old is Corey?
He's your age. He's 36.
But still, when that movie came out in 2001,
You would have been 12. Yeah, you would have been 12 years
12.
old.
Yeah. So, first of all, let's just say for anyone thinking about showing this to their 12-year-old, please don't.
I don't know. At 12, I would find this pretty awesome.
Wait, I'm just picturing like the scene. I don't know you showing. I don't know you like movies like this. What are you talking about? That's Sherman Helmsley, Angel Dust, PCP.
Now, Gab, you seem to have skipped something we normally do.
Oh, taglines?
Taglines, we only have one.
Oh, boy.
The only thing more dangerous than the line being crossed is the cop who will cross it.
I want to hate it, but I don't. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing about football, though.
No, I'm surprised how much there was about a writer in Paris.
Yeah, right? I must have not been paying attention during that scene.
Well, on a trip to Paris with his fiance's family, they play football all day.
And then they do PCP.
And then they do.
Crazy.
Light spoilers for Midnight and Training Day. Dude, I guess we don't have to get more of the plot away. We'll talk about it during the opinions, I'm sure, but full spoilers from here on out, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So let's
yeah,
get to
yeah.
our opinions.
Okay.
In this critic's opinion,
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
Zach, do you want to start? You're the one who picked this movie. Why Training Day?
Well, can I just say to little Tim that I said to you earlier on the phone?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said to Dylan that the scene in the car, I don't remember word for what he says to him, but he says, I'm sorry you had to see this stuff today, Jake. You know, it's the way of the world. It's how it is. I'm sorry I had to be the one to show it.
Oh, because
to you.
Hoyt says it can't be like
Yeah, it
this
can't be
every
like
day.
this. I said to Dylan, I was like, that just reminds me of you chilling with me and me introducing you to new horrible realities of Earth. I'm like, I'm sorry, Dylan. It is this though.
Specifically, the version you said was when we were growing up, showing you new things about like mom and dad and drugs and the real world.
Just robbing you of your innocence day after day.
It's still happening. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, yeah. There's still so much left to rob. So I went into this truly not knowing anything. And on Sunday, we kind of were poised to watch it. And I saw that it was just over 2 hours. And I looked at Corey and I was like, is this like am I gonna like feel good? And he was like, no. So I was like, okay, so I don't want to watch this. So we pushed it to Tuesday evening when thankfully we had a little bit of time. But I was like kind of dreading it because I was like, oh, this is going to be like an unhappy pew pew kind of movie that I'm like not really ready for.
It's not an unfun movie. It's just certainly not like a feel good comedy. It's just, it's action and thrills.
It seems to be pretty nonstop to me with anxiety and action.
Yeah, but it's not like a depressing movie.
No, but I mean,
like this is much more fun than say The Pianist.
It is. I mean, it's not a happy movie ever.
It's more fun than
happy.
The Striped Pajamas.
I'll tell you what.
We just watched those Safdie Brothers movies. It's along that kind of lines of that universe.
Yeah, but they keep your attention. They're fast paced. It's not a slog.
I don't want to get too into this yet, but I will say, upon watching, what I realized was that I was the target viewer for this film. every twist and turn, I was on it. I was like, oh, wait, oh, what? Oh my God. Like I was in the front car of this roller coaster.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Do you know when you
I didn't say I enjoyed. I just said that I was paying attention.
You didn't get there yet, motherfucker.
Well, buckle up.
Do you know when you first watched it?
Oh, you're talking to me. You're addressing
me. You, the guy who brought this here.
I mean, a long time ago. I don't know.
Was it in the theater with Corey?
No.
Did Grandma tell you to watch it, or was this something you found on your own? Like, how did you stumble across this?
This definitely is not a Grandma.
Oh no! I remember I turned on the TV once and I had like heard of it, so I gave it like 5 minutes. And I can tell you this: I do remember when I first watched it. It was that scene where they're leaving the diner or whatever, and he's like, they get the drugs, and I'm like, all right, I'm interested. And then he's like, smoke this PCP, motherfucker, and I was like, all right, I'm here for the rest of it. And then I watched it, and then it came on again. It was one of those movies that right away they played it again. I'm like, I think I missed like 15 minutes. Let me watch that. And then I watched the whole movie again,
Yeah. I could see that. Dill, what about you?
I remember I watched it once years ago, but I don't think it left. I don't know if I wasn't paying full attention or something, because I didn't remember it 100% well. Watching it with Zach yesterday, I feel like it was the first time I really was remembering. Like there was a lot of parts that I did not remember very well. And I feel like I enjoyed much more this time how much that the movie is really just Alonzo Harris, which is Denzel's character, trying to break Hoyt and break his morals, his ethics, and make him into the same person he is. Because I never noticed the first time I watched it that it's got to be, I wasn't keeping count, but I kept writing down times where he says, I used to be just like you. Harris keeps saying, oh man, I remember when I looked at things that way, or when I was the same way. And it's just the fact that he's like, no, you'll break. At some point when there's $250,000 in your hand, you'll take it.
Well, to me, it comes down to just good versus evil. It's a very like biblical almost kind of movie in that sense of, like the little angel and the little devil that pop up on your shoulder when you're making moral decisions, and it gets more blurred as it goes on,
Yeah, but there's really no angel presence. It's just Ethan Hawke trying to decide if he will be tempted and turned to the dark side. Like, I guess he is, but there's no angel on his shoulder, certainly.
But I do certainly think that there are a lot of moments in the movie where Alonzo does something and it almost seems like you can rationalize why he did it. And it's like, oh, yeah, he's taking the drugs away from the teenagers who are selling it. Like, yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't want to arrest them because they're young and they have their future ahead of them. Like, he's going to scare them straight. Okay, I get it. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, he's a piece of crap. But
Oh,
then something else happens and you're like, oh, maybe he's not bad and maybe this is moral. So that's what I mean when I say I was along for the ride, where I do think there are moments where he's, I don't want to say redeemable, but definitely you can justify his behavior, especially because as a viewer, you feel like you're an insider. So you don't feel like you're some, civilian who's watching the police be corrupt. You're like, no, I get it. Sometimes you got to be corrupt to like do, you got to do the wrong thing to do the right thing, you know?
and
It's
that's how
also
sorry.
we like Denzel.
You gotta like him because he's a cool character, even though he's
Yeah.
a piece of shit. And he really, what you were saying, Gab, he kind of does the whole. That's how he gets Hoyt in as far as he gets him, to the point where he has him. Then, spoiler alert again, where he's got him like under his thumb with the blackmail kind of stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
it starts with all these little things.
He gets him that far though because he rationalizes it. He's like, well, the drugs will be on the street, like you said. You know, you don't want that. Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one I keep thinking of is he's got all this, evidence in the back of his car in the trunk, and he goes, well, it's non-claimed, so I give it to informants' families. And you keep being evened out by like, well, maybe he does do some good too. Maybe there's methods to the badness type of thing, and he's not like entirely bad.
But no.
Yeah.
You can tell
Yeah.
also that Harris gets joy in doing bad things. Like you see him beating people up with a huge smile on his fucking face.
Yeah, but they're bad people that he's beating up. So it's like it almost gives you that Dexter vibe of like, is it wrong if it's somebody who's bad, you know?
Yeah, so there's a certain period of time where it's like vigilante, where Snoop Dogg's a good example. Snoop Dogg is playing this character. He's a drug dealer in a wheelchair, and he tries to swallow these drugs. And what does Detective Harris do to him?
He swallows the drugs. He puts the pen down his throat. He goes, "Now what is that? That's motherfucking crack."
He forces him to throw up the drugs that he swallowed. Yeah.
I want to put a pin in this really quickly because I want to talk about the fact that Snoop Dogg is actually like a pretty good actor.
Well, I feel like during the 2000s, there was a few times he was in a few things, right? Like the only one that's come to my mind is Starsky and Hutch, but I know he did other things too.
Since then, I mean, he usually plays a similar character to himself, but he acts, you know.
Yeah, he does here and there.
Yeah, this was particularly good. I was expecting it to be like Snoop Dogg being Snoop Dogg, but it wasn't. It was actually really good. Same with Dr. Dre. Not as big a role, but definitely didn't feel like, why is this music producer in this movie? You know, like it was pretty good.
Same with Macy Gray too.
Let me see.
Was that Macy Gray?
Let me
Yeah.
see that warrant.
Blast these fools.
I know, because oh my fucking God. I said to Corey, she looks familiar. She kind of looks like Macy Gray. And then thought, like, when was the last time I saw Macy Gray? You know what I mean? Like in that
Probably in
fucking music
2001.
video. Yeah. Wow. I never fucking doubt me, Dylan. You hear that? Never fucking
Which
doubt me.
apparently I saw some, I'm watching the behind the scenes and they said that she worked with the costume designer, but like the costume designer let her pick out the long nails, what she would wear, and just sort of like become that character. And she was like, the moment she got the character was when she read that line, "Blast these fools." She was like, I get who this is. Like, I was like, okay.
She was so good.
They
So
did,
good.
They did that house dirty, though. I mean,
Well,
they went in and robbed them.
yeah.
Because as much as it's just, Hoyt's first day of training, it's also an important day for Harris because he has to, as we find out throughout the movie, get $1 million so that he can pay back Russians because while he was in Vegas, he murdered a Russian. I do think, though, talking about the scene with the Mexican gang, it goes back to, because Hoyt is going to die in that scene. Alonzo has set him up to be killed because he's seen too much of everything Harris has done that day and not gone along with it. And it shows, I was saying this to Zach last night when we watched it, the most important scene for Hoyt in this entire movie, the most important part of the movie, the one moment where he actually follows his own thinking, his own morals, his own ethics, is when he saves the girl who is about to be assaulted by the two crackheads, who's maybe about to be raped. And it saves his life later because she happens to be the cousin of Smiley, their leader.
Yeah.
And I just think like that is honestly so important to what the whole movie is, because every other part of the day, he's trying to go along to impress Harris, to go along with his decisions. And as he does, he just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And it's the one good righteous thing he did where it was just him, even though he's high on PCP that Harris made him smoke, looks and sees it out the window. He's got the magic eyes, Harris says, and he stops it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the most questionable part of this movie for me, at least in the beginning half when you're still kind of figuring out what's going on, is when they don't arrest the rapists or the crackheads or whatever, where you're like, I can't fully understand why Alonzo would say, don't worry about it, just leave him, let's go.
Because he's the devil.
Right. Obviously,
well,
right.
I think that's an important part of it too, is because Harris says specifically the Mexican gang will kill them. And Hoyt says, well, what about justice? And he goes, that's, he tells him that the Mexican gang will take care of it. And he says, that's street justice. And by the end of the movie, as we're getting full spoilers here, it's the one change that I feel like Hoyt really makes is he says, you know what? I'll let the street justice happen.
To him,
Yeah. Every twist and turn of this movie is so dizzying because you're like, oh yeah, I agree. And then like, oh wait, no, this doesn't seem right. Because in that moment, I was like, yeah, I mean, he's a narcotics officer. Like this is a sexual assault. This isn't even their field. And it's like, okay, well, he knows the street and he knows these guys are going to get something way worse than being arrested, where they'll probably eventually be back on the street. So, like, yeah, okay, I guess I get it. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but I was just constantly giving him the benefit of the doubt until I literally couldn't anymore.
What's the scene when you couldn't anymore?
Wow, that's a good question.
Where would Gab end up in Training Day? You're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go there? So I'll tell you. The moment that I realized he couldn't be redeemed was when he left Hoyt with the Mexicans. I was like,
the very
that's so you would have been cool with the
so Gab would have been in that bathtub with the shotgun in her face.
Wait, Gab was cool with the murder of Roger, who he kills to get the money.
Wait, you want to know why I would have been okay in this movie? I'd have been like, fuck yeah, give me that money sack. Yeah.
Which
Here's
now I
the
would have
thing.
understood, but you go past Hoyt's part because that's where Hoyt says no more.
This is what I learned about myself watching this movie. I was like, fuck yeah, give me the money. I want to be part of the cool kids. I want to be on this like awesome team with fucking Dr. Dre and shooting people up. Like, this is awesome. I was so in. And then I was like, oh no, that's not the point.
Oh, but
they're
Gab,
not the cool kids.
I could
Yeah,
put
no.
Springer rims on my 2010 Kia Forte and I'd be fucking happy with that.
I mean, dude, I was like, wow, peer pressure really works on me. Like, I'd have been in. I'd have been like, can we get jackets too?
Can anyone
Like,
ever?
this is awesome.
Can we get matching jackets? Gang stars. Can we just talk about, by the way, how fake the money looks when they dig it out?
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Got like some president with a mustache on it.
I think I noticed it.
It was all $50 bills too. I was like, that's such a strange choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A mustache with a president man.
I thought that so perhaps this is just a misinterpretation of the movie and that's on me and that's why I was kind of like okay with the murder. I thought that he was the guy, and he was, because I checked the Wikipedia summary, by the way. This was the man that was supplying the drugs to Snoop Dogg, who was supplying the drugs to the teenagers. So I was like, Alonzo knows he's a bad guy, and he's been kind of like giving him immunity to like work with him a little bit. And now it's like, this is my moment where not only am I going to get the cash from him that's blood money, right? I'm going to take that money to pay off my debt, but also I'm going to inherently end this drug chain by killing the leader. So I was like, okay, so he's again, it's like street justice.
You realize he's been on the take the whole time, though. Like he's been taking money from Scott Glenn's character the entire time.
Yeah, but it's also that's Harris tries to say in the car, it's the last scene where he's like, before he drives him to the Mexican gang, where he's thinking, well, maybe I can get Hoyt to go along with this. Maybe it'll be cool. And he explains Roger was a bad guy. Roger was,
he was your friend.
Helping with drugs. We were with him this morning and you guys had a drink together.
And he said, just because he knows my first name doesn't mean we were friends.
Roger, Harris does not kill Roger because of the drugs. Harris kills Roger purely because he needs
to
money.
benefit himself.
Yeah, it's the same reason he talks about earlier. He goes, I let some crimes go because I'm going. It goes back to the thing with the college kids. The guy on the street is his informant. Why? Because he doesn't care about him. He wants somebody higher up.
Right.
Roger was the highest up. He didn't care about Roger until all of a sudden he needs money.
Mhm.
Like, it's
I
just him
just thought,
he thinks he can talk his way out of everything.
yes, but I thought that it was a situation where it was like, deep down, Alonzo knows he's gonna fucking end this. It's just a matter of when is the most convenient time for me to end this. And when he needed that money, this was the most convenient time. So it's like he was like playing with him, like, oh yeah, we're buddies. Like, don't worry, you have immunity. Like, I got you. I'm not gonna do anything to you. And then like, just kidding, I am. Like I don't want to brag, but we're watching Arrested Development from the beginning. And like, do you remember when Jane Lynch is the informant and she goes to the prison to talk to George Bluth and then they like fall in love and she's like, forget it, I'm not an informant anymore?
I'm just picturing Scott Glen's dying last words to Denzel being like, there's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, basically, there was money in the fucking banana stand. It was just under his floorboards.
Yep.
But no, I really did feel like it was part of a greater justice or like a greater legal pursuit where this guy needed to go and this was just the best time for Alonzo.
Yeah.
Well, it was the best time for Alonzo, not because of any legal pursuit, but because personally he needs it to be done now. You know what I mean? Which goes back to there's a great line. Denzel's got every great line in this movie.
It's such a fucking quotable movie, this movie.
The quote that I'm thinking of right now, though, is when Hoyt says to him, "You've been planning this all day." Do you remember what?
I've been planning this all week.
I've been planning this all week, son.
You're playing checkers. This is chess.
So good. Let's talk for a moment about Ethan Hawke, who I'm certain does not get his flowers for this movie because how can you when you're with Denzel, right? But he does such a good job of playing this like quintessential, like 32-year-old, not completely rookie cop, right? This is not a person who's like brand new on the force. He just was in a very different role. And now he's got to kind of step up into this much more higher risk role, right? He's got a family at home that we see in the beginning. He's not naive, but he is definitely inexperienced at this level. So you can see why he's suspicious, but not totally like, because if this role is played incorrectly, the moment Denzel does something crazy, he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Yeah. Or else it's unbelievable.
And he even says, I asked you to tell me a good story. You got a DWI arrest? That's your story? Yeah.
Which I was saying to Zach when I was watching it yesterday. I don't think Harris drinks in that car every day. I think his story was about a DWI, and he was like, immediately like, how do I test him? We're drinking in the car right now.
I agree with you. It was a test on his character and to see how that, okay, he's reeling him in now. He's got him. But I do think he also just drinks.
There's a chance he does it often, but I think he's doing it right then because he's saying directly in his face, no, you're going to have to do everything you think you wouldn't do.
No one put a gun to your head.
Now, do you guys think that Denzel's character put all of the guys through this test, or do you think this test specifically exists because he needed to get something done that day?
A little of both, because I think, yeah, he definitely drove those other guys, put those other guys through the ringer, to test them,
test their loyalty,
all that, yeah. But I think that this was his rock bottom, and this was his bottoming out, and him trying to fucking stay afloat, and he's taken down like a drowning person, anyone he asked to survive.
Yeah,
I do think if Hoyt was willing to go along with everything, though, that he wouldn't have ultimately tried to kill him.
I think he would have kept that option in his back pocket like he did with Roger when he needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I don't think he necessarily would have, even towards the end, he was ready to let him kind of go.
But that's the whole thing, though. It's a corrupt system coming up against a man who is incorruptible.
Yeah.
Or at least willing to say no. And it was Antoine Fuqua. I saw something where he's saying,
is that the director?
Yeah. Where he's saying something about Detective Harris, and he's going, at some point, he moved an inch outside what he should have done because it got the case done. And then I imagine the next time he moved a foot and then a yard, and he just kept going further and further. You know what I mean? And I just kept going back to all the times where Harris kept saying, like, I was just like you. I was just like that. And I'm like, I feel like he's just thinking I can fast track this guy into being me the way that it happened to me.
I think most, even in real life, of the dirtiest cops out there, most of them, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a few pieces of absolute shit, but most of them, before they become corrupted, start out wanting to do good, and then you're on the take once, or you do this once, and that, or you know what I mean? And it just gets easier, taking the shortcut too. It gets easier to plant evidence than it is to build a real case, and then they get used to this shit, and then boom, you wake up and you're a fucking dirtbag, you know?
And he talks about his
and
results. He goes 15,000 years from all the cases I've done. So if the results are there, it's good enough.
yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like, there's a culture of we all cover for each other. So there is no fear that, the lie is going to be missold, right? Because no matter what, we have the story. This is what I'm going to say. This is what you're going to say. We're going to coach you, and it's all good and solid. And that's part of the loyalty thing, right? Like, you need to know that your men are going to lie for you. But once you know people are going to lie for you, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, two quotes I'm seeing right here that I just feel like come down to all this too are, I became a cop to put away drug dealers, the poisoners, the criminals, not to be one. And Denzel just going, you sound just like me. And he says another line too, you're terrified. Everybody goes through it the first time. I went through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This logic of like, this was all of us. This was me, and he's just saying, it's fine. You'll get here,
Yeah. One of my favorite lines is, of course, do you want to go to jail or do you want to go home? Love it. Definitely said that a few times today. And
it's so horrible, this movie. I find myself saying just like esoteric little tidbits from it. I said hold on.
The quote that we say all the time.
I've had my shit pushed in.
It's a great Tuco and Moreno line. I've had my shit pushed in. You've had your shit pushed in.
I love getting love from the homies.
When Tuco does the like flex and yell thing, I looked at Corey and I was like, so that's his shtick, huh? Like, that's what he does.
Hey, it works.
It works.
He's a good actor.
I've never seen Breaking Bad, but I can imagine he's like that. I know.
He's so good in Breaking Bad.
He's fucking amazing in Breaking Bad. It's like you see him in this and you're like, yeah, I get it. You're doing the gangbanger thing. But in Breaking Bad, it's like, oh my God, like he is terrifying.
So unpredictably terrifying.
Yes. Yeah. He's like a legit psychopath, but not in like a, oh, I'm just acting crazy way, in like a, oh my God, like this is a fucking ticking time bomb, He's so good. There's another line from this movie that I really wanted to bring up that we were just talking about, and now it's gone.
Well, the famous line that everybody quotes from this movie that I think even people who haven't seen it quote.
Can I do it?
Go ahead.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Zach's putting cases on all you motherfuckers.
There's a smaller line where they're talking about like doing the right thing or something like that. Oh, fuck. It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me.
To protect the sheep, you got to kill the wolf. To kill a wolf, you got to be a wolf.
Get your ink, or else go join that guy.
I did like that.
I'll leave you one nut. Which one you want?
That was a good line too.
I'm looking up all the quotes on IMDb because now I want to say what the line was that really stuck with me that now I can't fucking think of.
Peanut butter
Really
up
stuck
your
with
ass.
Oh, that was funny too. I was like, you ever watch a movie or something like that or a TV show and like somebody gets away with like killing, like hiding a body and you're like, I have to remember this just in case. I thought that with the peanut butter. I was like, I have to remember this just in case.
Yeah, that was a frightening little journey into your mind right there. But
well, you never know.
So Gab's first tactics of hiding the body failed. What you doing with that jiffy in prison?
Another line I like from Harris is, no one will ever ask you again to pull the trigger if you don't want to. You give me 18 months, I give you a career.
He never did pull the trigger, though.
But that was going to be the story. Well, no, that is that when he's telling him to shoot Roger, though?
No, that's after.
Okay.
Wait. No, it's after. Because he doesn't have that kind of deep conversation with him in front of him. Remember, he's like, he still thinks he's joking around a little bit, Roger, He thinks he's joking around until the trigger is pulled, and then we get to see again Harris being sadistic, laughing at him.
Breathe, Roger.
Oh, that's a rough scene.
That is the scene that finally breaks Hoyt into being like, fuck this. I can't remember what he says. He's like, you gotta think about the guy's feelings. Fuck their feelings.
Oh, that part. Mind if I get another glass of your $300 glass shit?
Yeah. Oh.
He steals his booze before he kills him again, too. Yeah, that's
damn.
I do think, I don't know why. I feel like in context it totally works, but out of context, if you just see that scene where they've got Hoyt in the bathtub, he just sounds ridiculous, going, "They were gonna kill her. They were gonna rape her."
Can we play a clip of that, please? Because it's such a disgusting scene. He's laughing about too, you sick bastard.
Out of context, I'm laughing.
You're right. He does sound ridiculous with it.
But he's in a bathtub where they got the water running because they're about to shoot him, which I don't want to question their instincts in this situation, but that shotgun's going through that bathtub, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get into the logistics of firearms. It depends if they're using birdshot or what they got in there, but likely. Wait, can you put a clip of that you were just talking about next to Nicolas Cage overacting in Kick-Ass when he's on fire, shouting the instructions to the girl?
Yes, I will work on that.
Same vibes.
Similar vibes, yes. Of just yell.
I have a question. I have a logistical question. Alonzo's woman and son, is that his like wife and child, or is that his like other woman and child?
Other woman and child.
That is his mistress and his, I guess, fifth kid. We don't know how many kids he does have.
He's probably got more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
quite a few.
We were talking about it yesterday. There's an important line where he says to Hoyt, if you die in the line of duty, if you get killed, what are they going to say?
A Los Angeles police officer was killed today serving a high-risk warrant. He is survived by his wife and child. And then it ends with that being about him, though. I love that.
Loved that.
They just say instead his wife and 4 children. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
what a good ending.
I think for me, the end of this movie was so like, I couldn't figure out what the hell was going to happen. Like, who's going to die? When are they going to die? How are they going to die? And at the end, when Ethan Hawke is on the car and Denzel Washington is trying to like drive to get him off, and there were so many, like, they're on the roof fighting and then they're in the grass fighting.
It was like the chicken from Family Guy.
Yes!
I was cracking up. Poor Ethan Hawke too. The funny thing about that fight to me is the fact that Ethan Hawke is thrown on the roof of a car. He's thrown like off a building. He's thrown through like 5 windows. I think he punches Alonzo like 5 times. Alonzo's on the ground like, I'm done. And I'm like, Hoyt's a tough motherfucker, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we learned he was a star football player too in high school from Roger.
Strong safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm definitely reading too much into this, but what is the safety's job in a football field? He is the last line of the defense.
Huh.
Well, we have
He's the last line of the corruption.
Yeah.
Wait, can I tell Gav what I said too at the very end?
Sure.
When he's peppered with bullets, like 70, 80 bullets into him or whatever. Yeah, before they shoot him with another 70, 80 bullets. I said it'd be really funny if he just pulled out in a blooper reel that Monty Python line, "'Tis but a flesh wound."
It really was like so dramatic. Like they light him up and then they lit him up again. It was like, okay, come on. We got it.
When I'm doing my research, I see alternate ending and I'm like, what could this be?
It's a dance number.
Wait, at first it's entirely the same. And he gets shot like 100 times. And I was like, how much could this change? What is he can't get up and say something. They just add more at the end when Hoyt is getting back to his home. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just literally a moment where we see Hoyt talk to the 3 wise men from earlier who follow him home. And he admits to them, I turned the money into the evidence, all of it. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? Leave me the hell alone. And I'm like, by the end of that day, he was not corrupted. And you and I were sort of talking about, I was just like, we really don't need that at all because we know he's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't come this far to pocket the money and like, keep going.
Oh, wait, something really funny that I didn't notice upon first watching it. I only noticed because I heard somebody else say it when I was watching other stuff. When Hoyt is in that bathtub and Moreno pulls out the wallet from the cousin, before he hands the wallet to Smiley, he pockets the money from the wallet.
And he keeps it even when he finds out who it is. He goes, you're not going to believe this. Like $7 in that girl's wallet.
Whatever this middle school, high school girl had, he takes her money. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough world. What did you guys think about the street unanimously turning on Alonzo at the end?
They've clearly all been waiting to, because the one guy even says, like, he has his jovial exchange with him, and they stick around just for a moment to say, like, I hate that guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought
he used and abused everyone in his life. Everyone in his life.
Well, what's the line he says at the end? You just live here. I run here.
I run this place. Yeah. I thought it was really cool that at one point when they're walking down the street in the beginning of the movie and all of the pigeons are up there and the guy is like signaling the pigeons.
That's also Terry Crews.
Like, oh, I didn't realize the first time it was Terry Crews. He was like, they do this to let them know that I'm here, right? To like alert people that I'm here. So at the end, when they turned on him, I was like, I find this like a little hard to believe because I think power is a really big draw in situations like that where you want to be close to the person with the most power. But then I was like, they obviously this whole time know that he's a piece of shit because they're alerting one another with birds.
Yeah.
I also think it's obvious once we know the whole time that they don't like him, the moment he's at risk, they're like, good. Any opportunity to get this guy done.
Got to put in your own work around here, player.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's good. Terry Crews, is this his first big like appearance?
If you can even call it that. I mean, it's a very
On IMDb, it is his third credit, but he literally has in interviews, he said that I think he just knew one of the location managers, and the location manager was like, do you want to just come hang out while we shoot? And he was like, I get to watch Denzel act. And Antoine Fuqua noticed him and went, do you want to be in the scene? And so that got him in the scene.
How can you not notice him? Yeah.
Well, that got him in the scene, and that got him in specifically. This was the day they were shooting the ending scene. And he was like, get in here.
Yeah. He is one of my favorites. I just absolutely love him. And I was disappointed that he never got to speak. I was waiting for like a new character. Like, yes.
He doesn't have a single speaking line in it.
I think he maybe says one thing, maybe. But he's certainly, it's not an important role. He doesn't have a name. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
He says, you're acting like a baby back bitch, or whatever the line is from Longest Yard.
If you could recast these two roles of Alonzo and Hoyt.
Well, I have in my facts other people who they thought about having.
But what about modern day? Because I'm going to tell you, we've been talking about this all day. And I think that if you're going to make a remake of Training Day, hear me out. Michael B. Jordan as Alonzo. Coming out of Sinners, I think he's got the chops to do it. And then for your Hoyt, it needs to be somebody who is young, but not too young, and like scrappy, but not naive. Like
Mr. Beast.
I think Jacob Elordi could do it.
I don't know who that is.
I know who that is. And I just feel like Michael B. Jordan, I think I need somebody a little bit older. So my first thought is maybe like a Coleman Domingo, if you know him.
Wait, you don't think Michael B. Jordan can play that same age? Again, look at him in Sinner. Like, he wouldn't look like a young man.
No, but he feels close enough in age to Jacob Elordi that I don't feel like he would look up to him as much. Also, I think Jacob Elordi is too tall. Jacob Elordi is like 7 feet tall.
Okay, that's fair.
So he has too much of a presence.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, though, of like Austin Butler for the other role.
Oh, you know who else I said? Who's the guy from Whiplash?
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller could do it.
It's so funny that I just pictured
J.K. Simmons is the young upstart.
I'm really eager to learn, sir.
I pulled up
Michael
for Zach.
B.
That's
Jordan.
Coleman Domingo.
Oh, let me see.
Although I think it's funny now. I think
Only if he wears that outfit.
Zach's talking about this outfit.
Bring it close. Oh God. Yeah, I know who that is. He's in The Running Man now, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's the effect, though, of how good Denzel is in this movie that we're assuming it has to be a black man.
Around that time.
It really does not need to
doesn't.
be.
I was going to go full role reversal with it.
Yeah, it would make just as much, if not more.
Around that time, though, I could see Jake Gyllenhaal as the younger. Hoyt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe like I was going to say like a James Gandolfini-esque kind of, because like we said, it doesn't have to be a black guy, you know?
I could see him as one of the three wise men. I feel like he's too old, in my opinion.
You know, I just want to say Michael B. Jordan is 38 years old.
Yeah.
How old was Denzel when they made this movie?
Let's find out.
And I think you're right. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to get dragged again in the comments for saying this. It doesn't have to be a black guy plays the, how old?
46.
Okay. So he was a little older, but I don't think I don't know. Fair point taken. I think that there's something about this character of Alonzo being like black and kind of part of the community that he is serving, and the way that they view Hoyt because he's a white guy. Like, it comes up a lot when they're like Alonzo is not treated as a quote unquote pig in the same way that Hoyt is. And part of it is because they know him and he's around, but I think another part of it is that he's a black guy.
He doesn't stick out as easily as Hoyt obviously does.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So it can be, you can reverse it where there's like a very well-respected white guy who's, you know, obviously a cop, but like is familiar with all these people. I just don't think it works as seamlessly, but you could also set it in a different place. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that you could do.
Yeah. Fair point.
So don't drag me in the fucking comments, okay?
Everything I went to say, I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
All right. Should we get to some facts?
Please.
I want the truth.
Face the facts, ducks.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
Back time, or however you do it.
That's how I do it. Thank you.
Yep, that's it. Thanks.
Starting with the ratings on the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter, it has a 74% with 125 fresh reviews and 44 rotten.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, me too. That's bullshit.
The audience score is 89% with an average score of 4.1 out of 5. It's got a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. It was released October 7th, 2001 with a budget of $45 million and grossed $105 million. The critics' consensus, the ending may be less than satisfying, but Denzel Washington reminds us why he's such a great actor in this taut and brutal police drama.
I thought the ending is very satisfying.
I do think
I lit a
Satisfied.
fucking cigarette.
maybe the ending they want is for Hoyt to be the one who kills him, but I think the whole point is that Hoyt is not stooping to that level.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted him to like survive and just like be back on the scene, you know? Sorry.
Oh, you
Alonso?
wanted him to win.
I didn't want him to win.
That was
I
fully
just-
corrupted by this movie.
I was. I just thought it would be, I assumed, I'm not saying this is what I wanted, but I assumed that the ending was going to be that Hoyt was obviously not going to join the narcotics division, but that they were going to run into each other again. Almost like there was going to continue to be tension where you're left thinking like, fuck, what the fuck is this guy going to do? Like move to Idaho, you know?
Well, there is no after. The whole movie is the single day.
Yeah.
I know. And thank God, you know, anytime I watch a movie now and there's not like room for a sequel, I'm like, this is art, you know?
It's nice for there to be a succinct story, a beginning, middle, end.
And wait, that's another one of my quotables from this movie. Didn't I say whenever you've been like, how you doing, man? How's it going? And I send back that gif with Denzel smoking a cigarette going, what a day. What a motherfucking day. I have that like 4 times a week.
That's great.
Some reviews. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars. For its kinetic energy and acting zeal, I enjoyed the movie. I like it when actors go for broke. Claudia Puig from USA Today. With its unflinching style, Training Day can be hard to sit through at times, but it's worth the discomfort for the adrenaline rush of the plot and Washington's compelling performance.
Can I get political for 1 second? Just a funny way?
Oh, God.
Wait, I just pictured Trump talking to that reviewer. All right, Twiggy. That's about Twiggy.
Jeff Bevere from the Toronto Star, as impersonated by the evangelically thunderous Washington, who no longer acts with other performers, he acts at them. Alonso feels about as street as a Beverly Hills ghetto.
Wait
a second.
Yeah, no, this guy did not like Denzel Washington's
I thought he
performance.
did a great job.
I mean, there's many who will agree with you, which we'll get to.
Just like I always
always try and include bad reviews with the.
I always say this about the actor Terrence Howard, that he can go in one week to another. He could go from playing like the chief of medicine at a hospital to the next scene. You ever see Hustle and Flow? He is a convincing motherfucking street pimp, you know?
Yeah.
Finally, we got Moira McDonald from the Seattle Times. While Training Day is a violent film, its brutality takes place in a believable moral universe and isn't just tossed in to give us a thrill.
Yeah.
All right. Letterboxd reviews.
Yes.
What's that mean?
Letterboxd is where just anybody can leave reviews, whereas the other ones are more professional.
Gotcha.
So this one's from Parker. From the trivia section of IMDb, the quote, "King Kong ain't got shit on me," is a reference to the 1930s King Kong. Fascinating.
Hold on. How much Tylenol did this kid's mother take?
This one from Adam Bolt. My first day at Walmart was like this. I didn't know you like to get wet at Walmart.
Oh my God. By the way, when he goes, I didn't know you like to get wet. I was like, what is he's wet? What is he talking about? I was like, oh, I don't know anything about drugs.
Clearly, Gab doesn't do PCP.
No.
This one from Adrian. Ethan Hawke really does seem like a guy who wandered onto a movie set one afternoon and everything just happened to fall into place for him.
Doesn't Ethan Hawke look like Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray?
I saw somebody ask him that.
Yeah.
There was an interviewer who asked him that, and he went, I get it once in a while. And he goes, and I can't remember what actor he said. He went, I've signed things to somebody else because somebody thought that's who I was.
Wait, have you ever seen there's an interview with Dennis Leary? And they're talking about celebrities that people mix him up with. He's like, well, I've had Jane Lynch.
Last letterbox review from Theo. If this was the training, I don't even want to see the real job.
So, funny story. When I got hired for the job that I have now, I went through like all the interviewing and whatever, and they hired me and they had me fill out all my paperwork and whatever. And then I was doing an onboarding with the owner of the company, like my boss. And he's kind of famous, and I was like scared to have my first one-on-one with him. And I guess nobody told him that this wasn't an interview, that I had just already been hired and he was meeting the new hire. So he started doing things like, so why should you work for me? And I was petrified because I had already been hired. So I was like not prepared for this at all. And that's how this movie made me feel, where I was like, he's like in the car, high on PCP, like, so do I work here? Like,
Since you want to keep interrupting Lane's morning paper, tell him a story.
yeah. I was like, he's probably like, so do I have the job?
Gab, I didn't know you included PCP and nutrition training. The movie was directed by Antoine Fuqua, who also directed Shooter, Olympus Has Fallen, The Equalizer, and he directed the music video for Gangsta's Paradise.
So the rest
Whoa.
of the rest of the stuff he's made is kind of crap.
No, not at all. Well, first of all, Olympus Has Fallen and the Equalizer trilogy have all been very successful movies.
I've seen the movies.
He does a lot of action type stuff. I feel like he did the Magnificent Seven remake also. This was his biggest movie. This is what made him a Hollywood director. You know,
Sounds like he's been downhill ever since, though.
He's doing a lot better than us, Zach. Give the guy some fucking credit. Jesus. You
know
be
what?
nice to Antoine Fuqua.
Antoine Fuqua, if you're out there,
Go Fuqua yourself.
you're letting yourself go, man. Come on, hit us with some good movies again. Give us.
I mean, maybe it was just Denzel.
He works with Denzel a lot, actually. I can tell that Denzel Washington likes him.
Oh, you know, Denzel Washington's from the Bronx.
I'm wearing an Archie shirt that says Riverdale. That's also in the Bronx.
It is.
Very good, Zach. The screenplay was written by David Ayer, who also wrote The Fast and the Furious, U-571, and Suicide Squad. Stars Denzel Washington as Alonzo Harris, who you may know from Malcolm X, Remember the Titans in Philadelphia. Ethan Hawke as Hoyt, you may know from The Black Phone, Moon Knight, and The Purge. Scott Glenn as Roger, you may know from Daredevil and Silence of the Lambs. Tom Berenger, Harris Yulin, and oh my God, who was the other? Raymond J. Barry as the Three Wise Men. I'm not going to say all of what they do. Cliff Curtis as Smiley, you may know from Sunshine and The Meg, and has somehow played every race ever. He's a good actor, man.
He could do the one-man show of this. He could be the Russian.
He could be every guy somehow, yeah.
Who is this?
Cliff Curtis, who was Smiley, the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously with cameos like we discussed already from Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Macy Gray, Nick Chinland, who Zach loves.
Nick Chinland. You like him too.
He was one of the narcotics cops.
Got it. I can't believe that I knew that was Macy Gray. I'm so proud of myself.
Good for you, Gab.
Thank you.
He tried to guess away and she stumbled.
But literally, like, the only thing I know of her from is that song and maybe that music video, like, once or twice. And I was immediately just like, that's Macy Gray. Like, my Macy Gray alarm went off.
Ethan Hawke was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Denzel Washington won Best Actor at the Academy Awards. He was nominated for the Golden Globe, but lost to Russell Crowe for A Beautiful Mind.
Hold on. So wait, let's go back to the review from that asshole before. Feels like watching a tough guy in Beverly Hills or whatever. You know what? The people have spoken, asshat.
Yeah.
And
Take that, Jeff Pavir.
Jeff Pavir.
It also won 2 MTV Movie Awards for Best Villain for Denzel and Best Cameo for Snoop Dogg.
Best kiss between Denzel and Ethan Hawke.
It was nominated for Best Line for King Kong Ain't Got Nothing on Me, but lost to Legally Blonde. Oh, I like your outfit too, except when I dress up as a frigid bitch, I try not to look so constipated.
Okay, that's fair.
So this is in the same universe, huh?
Yeah. What a crossover.
She's his lawyer at the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down to the fun facts now.
Oh, that wasn't fun?
These have not been fun. Yeah, these are.
No, now it's time for those are just facts. These are fun facts. God damn it.
Okay.
So first, the line "King Kong ain't got shit on me" was improv by Denzel Washington, as is most of his little end speech there.
Amazing.
Him howling in the car and getting Hoyt to howl in the car was improvised.
Now, did that make you think of Arrested Development when they all try to make chicken sounds and they're like, caw, 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 caw?
Yeah, stop trying to make Arrested Development happen. It was 20 years ago, man.
Not for me.
Harris calling Hoyt my N-word was never in the script. So every time Denzel does it, that's an improv.
That's another. I mean, obviously, I don't do the quotable part of that, but it is quotable.
You want to go to
You see all the memes and stuff
Yes.
with that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
you want to go to jail or you want to go home? Not
Very
written.
cool. Really?
Oh man, that is so
That's
good.
also Denzel. Now, some other actors who almost ended up in this. At one point, it was going to be Matt Damon opposite Samuel L. Jackson.
See?
It wouldn't have been as good.
No, but I think in this context, in this universe of this movie, Alonzo has to be black and Hoyt has to be white.
Eminem was offered the role of Hoyt.
That wouldn't have worked.
I don't know, man. That could have been really interesting.
He's not a good enough actor. Like,
He's
listen,
only
very
really done
talented.
the one thing.
Yeah, where he played himself.
Okay, touche.
He's not
He was
good.
great at that, though. He was great at acting like himself.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire was seriously considered for the part of Hoyt. He even followed the undercover narcotics officers in LA for 2 months and gained weight for the role. He was dropped when Ethan Hawke, who was the first choice, was finally available for the shooting schedule.
Wow,
Doing all this
imagine.
cop training.
Which
Yeah,
I feel
I'm
like from
fat
what I
now.
heard, though, they really had to fight hard. Like Ethan Hawke, the producers sort of didn't want Ethan Hawke, and Antoine Fuqua was like, "No, that's him. I want that guy." Yeah.
Damn.
When the movie came out, many viewers and critics were skeptical of the scenes where Hoyt smokes marijuana laced with PCP, and Alonzo's explanation of how a cop who didn't take drugs offered to him on the street would be ID'd as a cop and killed. Writer David Ayer responded in an interview by holding up a highlighted section of the LAPD's rules and regulations, stating that officers were allowed to use narcotics in specific undercover situations and hewed closely to what Alonzo tells Jake.
I thought that made so much sense, especially when it was like just marijuana. I was like, yeah, smoke it. Come on. Like you have to, otherwise you're going to look like a cop.
Although for the kids out there, if you're going to do any drugs and don't want to be caught, I mean, cocaine leaves your system way quicker.
Yeah, children.
Good to know.
Shout out
Thank
to
you.
cocaine.
According to Noel Guglielmi, who plays Moreno, the movie was originally titled Rampart and based on the true corruption stories of the LAPD Rampart Division, which had widespread corruption in its CRASH, Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums Anti-Gang Unit.
They were
Whoa.
like hoodlums after all.
There is actually a movie just called Rampart starring, I think, Woody Harrelson as like the main cop. Yeah.
Not a big Woody
It's
Harrelson
not
fan.
the same at all.
Yeah.
In the screenplay, it's also apparently implied that Hoyt's parents were drug addicts. This was part of his motivation for becoming a cop and later fuels his hatred of Alonzo, which I don't think we need at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't remember that even coming up.
Unnecessary.
I don't think I need to. We talked about the
talked
last
about
one. The
that.
last one is about getting your shit pushed.
Please tell me.
It explains it to people who don't get the reference. That's that's for anal sex. It's saying here. It's like most people don't realize.
I just love how Smiley follows up by saying,
I always like getting up from the homies.
why did you put more stank on it, for Christ's sake?
Wait, there was a funny story that happened in real life.
Wait, what? How are we? Please bridge the gap for
It's
me.
nothing about me getting my shit pushed in or pushing anyone's shit in. Listen,
Have you ever had your shit pushed in?
I went full Satchel on there.
When your shit pushing.
I'm so sorry, Louis Armstrong. I'm sorry. Years and years ago, it was me and Ian and this girl called Jess. I won't say her full name on it, but there were these two guys. We'll call Matt, and I don't remember the other guy's name. Little weasels who thought they were
Bill.
tough guys, and one of them, they were just both bragging about being in jail, and he's saying
They were gonna kill her.
well, so we're, things are just getting weird, and me and Ian are standing there talking like, this is a weird situation here. The girls, we're gonna have to mess these guys up, kind of thing, And as we're saying it, they're saying something obnoxious, and they're talking about, oh yeah, in jail I used to love dropping the soap. I kicked that bar around the fucking showers, and they're laughing with each other. And then he said something inappropriate to the girl. We're about to say something, and she fucking cocks back and clocked this guy so hard he literally just like fucking Back to the Future style just spun around and fell onto the ground. And his friend just like dragged him off like a raccoon. Like it was pretty funny. It was like, well, I guess you were able to handle yourself there.
So at the end of the day, she never had her shit pushed in.
No, but those two guys from jail apparently loved it.
Jail guys love it. That's why they
I
often
know
want
I'm
to go
getting
back
it
to
from the
jail.
homies.
Yeah.
I'll get a little more Mexican with it every time I do it.
Fantastic.
Do we have a sombrero I can check on here real quick?
Surprisingly, we do not have a sombrero.
Maracas. Is Charo available to help me with this?
Jesus
Gucci,
Christ.
Gucci.
Oh, that was the only other fun fact I had. Denzel calls Gucci got me here. Denzel calls Ethan Hawke to Alonzito El Cucuy, which is apparently the boogeyman.
Oh.
Wait, say that part again?
He calls him, it's spelled Cucuy, El Cucuy.
Ethan Hawke says it to.
No, Denzel says to stay away from Ethan Hawke at the end and calls him El Cucuy to Alonzito.
Yeah. And that means the boogeyman?
Yeah.
Interesting. That little boy was so cute.
That poor kid just had to stand there and look sad.
He did a good job. Every single scene that passed, I looked at Corey and was like, in the movie theaters? Like 11? That was the most horrifying part for me.
And as a snack, he had PCP.
Yeah. And then afterward, they had to make a stop somewhere. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, Eva Mendes in this movie.
Muy caliente.
I think Eva Mendes. I was actually surprised. Who's the woman from The Mask of Zorro?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes.
Also in Fuego.
No, not Catherine Zeta-Jones. There's another. Oh God, how do I describe this? She has a like ALS now or something. Who am I thinking of?
Selma Blair?
Selma Blair.
She's in
Selma.
Zorro?
She's
No,
not.
sorry. I just
Selma
got confused.
Hayek.
Selma Hayek.
No, she doesn't have MS.
Selma Hayek does not have MS.
Okay.
She's also not ALS.
Forget the S's.
What is happening?
Forget the diseases or the conditions.
I wish we could, these poor people.
Where were you going with this?
I just think she could have played the character.
Who?
Selma Hayek.
Selma Blair?
This is like a great
Selma
idea for
Hayek.
like a charity here, though. Like, cancer, forget about it. How can we stomp out these diseases? And she was like, forget the disease, give money.
Why Selma Hayek?
I don't know. I feel like
You have a problem with Eva Mendes' performance?
In terms of sheer breasts alone, I support putting Selma Hayek in there.
okay, here's my real thought, and you can edit this out. You might need to. I feel like the role should have been a more voluptuous woman than Eva Mendes.
Wait. Eva Mendes wasn't attractive
Sorry, she
enough?
said exactly what I was saying.
I didn't say attractive. I said voluptuous. Get a dictionary.
Wait,
It
why
means-
does Alonzo say something specifically about how he's obsessed with huge titties?
He says he likes to bang them from behind. So you don't really need big titties for that.
I just felt like she was like, listen, in 2001, everybody was really skinny, right? Women were very thin. She's very thin. But I think in this context, in this universe, she would have been a more voluptuous, curvy woman. And if he was specifically going after.
Wait, first off, we can readdress large titties. But before we get to that, I need you to go to Mr. Skin for a moment here, or whatever that's called. Do we see her naked very briefly? I think we do.
So we do, but it is not in focus. And so I believe so you have to understand, you get
Ellen concentrated like it was orange juice titties.
There's a pay discrepancy for nudity, right? The longer that you're nude, the more you show, the more money that you get. And I was wondering, because at first we didn't see her. She was covered by the pillow. So I thought, interesting, she did not make it nearly as much money as she could have. And then we see her, but she's not in focus. So I thought there's definitely a pay scale based on.
Well,
she actually is the one who suggested she be naked. I saw her behind the
We
scenes.
can address this right now because
She
I
wanted that money.
put something in my rider for everything I do, like this podcast, that I insist on a partial nudity or full nudity. I'm naked right now.
It's
That's why
unfortunate.
we're paying you.
From the waist down, it's very unfortunate to be in this room.
Thankfully, I can only see you from the nipples up.
Which are exposed.
His eyes are up here, Gav.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just my personal opinion. I felt like it was very interesting that they went with a very like 2001-esque body type instead
I
of
don't think
what
they
I think
did,
would
because
be.
when I think of like the skinny women you're talking about, I'm thinking of like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie and like the Simple Life, who were anorexic skinny. Ava Mendes is not like, oh my God, she looks like she needs to eat
I'm
a
picturing
sandwich.
now her character being just like Gwen Stefani. That'd be funny.
And Eminem is Detective Harris.
Yeah. I do think she looks a lot like Amy Winehouse in this role.
As someone who has seen both of these women, I do
I
not
thought
at
you were going
all.
to say naked. I was like, have we seen Amy Winehouse naked?
No. And I don't want to.
I'm sure a few 100,000 drunks in bars have, but not too soon.
No. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm seeing.
Is it Amy Winehouse naked?
Oh. What are we talking about?
Yeah, show her this. Gab, you're wrong. No, the defense is wrong. Here's the proof. That could be a
am I
fake
supposed to
internet
read
thing.
what it says?
Doesn't matter what it says.
Oh, I thought that.
Don't
was
look at
what
the
you were showing
words.
me.
She's looking at words. There were words on that picture you showed
Well,
me.
there's glare. Look at the chat. Look at what I just sent in the chat.
There's too much clothes there, Amy Winehouse.
You don't see the similarities in their faces?
A
little bit.
Thank you.
Is Amy Winehouse Jewish?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out, shalom to Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Feels like now that we've had this interesting photo discussion about voluptuousness and Salma Hayek and Amy Winehouse and Ava Mendes, should we just get to the mail?
Yes.
Mail time! When you control the mail, you control information.
Mom asked me to ask you if there's any mail for us here by mistake.
What?
Okay, taking a break from Zach from Training Day, we have one piece of mail talking probably not about Midnight in Paris, since it's another episode of Canadian Court with Kyle.
Oh, boy.
Dylan, Gab, I'm sorry to report that Canadian Court is currently in recess, but I thought I would ask you two a question given how this episode is going to be coming out on Black Friday. I'm curious, what is the best Black Friday deal?
Wait, I'll go back to that. We missed this piece of mail in our last episode, in case that sounds a little crazy in retrospect.
I was just going to say, is Black Friday different in Canada?
No, our bad, Kyle, our bad.
Deal you can recall buying. Were you at a store? Was it online? And it kind of feels like Black Friday's been ruined because it sort of stretches out over a week, at least here in Canada now at this point. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Okay, as Kyle continues to walk down the winding road of life.
The highway.
Life is a highway, Kyle. You drive it all night long. That's definitely not the words. Doesn't matter. Gab, you got anything on Black Friday? A great purchase?
A great Black Friday purchase. I God, I wish you had let me know that he was going to ask this before you hit record, because I'm kind of
Well, I didn't know,
I'm
but
a
I can
little
go first
stumped.
if you want.
Yeah, please.
So I don't have a purchase in mind, but what I do have is a specific memory. Like, this is the best Black Friday I can remember. The date was November 22nd, 2012. Now, this is the last Black Friday I really remember well, where instead of thinking about being online or having it be actually during Thanksgiving Day, it was me and a couple of my friends were online at Best Buy at like 2 a.m. No, it must have been earlier than that. Probably like 10 o'clock to wait for them to open by like 2 a.m. So we got to have the full Thanksgiving, which was always nice. And then it was you go and do your thing. And I just remember waiting online, being on my phone. And while I was on the line, I kept finding out about the Patriots just scored. The Patriots just scored. And it was Patriots versus Jets. And this game is famous to me because it's known now as, and you probably have heard of this, I would hope, the butt fumble.
I never heard of that in my life.
You never heard of the butt fumble where Mark Sanchez ran directly into the ass of his own offensive lineman and dropped the ball?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, they got destroyed by the Patriots in that game. And I just remember waiting online like, well, it's sad that I'm missing the Patriot game. And then my phone was just going off like crazy about scored. And I was like, woohoo! Like, great day for Dylan. I think I bought probably a TV. You know, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever bought anything that was like legendarily great for Black Friday. Recent things I can think of are, you know, a TV, a sound bar, things like that. Well, that's about it, really.
Yeah. I remember a Black Friday when me, you, and Zach, we had a sleepover at your house, and then we went to the Sunrise Mall and
R.I.P.
walked
Sunrise
around.
Mall.
And I remember two purchases very distinctly. The first was a pair of red low top Converse that Zach said made my feet look big and made me look like I was wearing clown shoes.
You Ronald McDonald motherfucker, you.
And I was so self-conscious that I never wore them because he said my feet look
Oh,
big. I know. And you know what? He wasn't wrong, okay? They did. I didn't need to buy them in red, but I did. And then the second thing was we went to the video store and they were doing buy two,
Suncoast
get one
Video.
free. Suncoast Video. They were doing buy two, get one free for Black Friday. So you got a movie and Zach got a movie. And then I was like, well, I want the free movie. So I picked out Clueless on DVD. And when we walked out of the store, you each made me give you 50% of what the cost would have been. So I gave you $10 and I gave Zach $10. And I was not willing to spend $20 on this copy of Clueless. I just thought I was going to get the free one because I was there.
I was
And
going to
you guys
say,
made
really
money on
good
the
pickup.
deal.
Clueless, nice. And then I realized this was not a good deal for you at all. As good a
No.
movie as Clueless is, it was not worth $20, probably even by the time you were buying it. Yeah.
I was gonna say they probably were selling it for $12.99 and I paid 20 for it.
Hey, that's capitalism, baby. That's the American way.
And that was Black Friday.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but it's the way of the world. It truly is.
Training day?
Training day. Should we get to the verdict?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death.
Zach, you picked Training Day, so you're going to go first. Do you think Training Day is a movie before you die?
I mean, I picked it, yes.
Would you like to expand upon that?
Well, now I'm doubting it because we don't have Salma Hayek naked in it, but it's got everything but that in it. To me, it's got a journey from start to finish that feels like it takes you down twists and turns that are like months going on, and it's one single day of this person's life. I told you I really like that part too, where when he's threatening him and he gives that, that general just, oh, when a cop dies, this is what's going to happen. This is it. That's what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to be on the news. And then, he himself gets it at the very end. That's it. So yes, I
Poetic
think it's a movie to
justice.
watch before you die. Yep.
Okay.
Deb, would you like to go first?
I'd like to go last.
Okay.
She liked it. She's going to pick it.
I think she liked it too, but we'll see. We'll see. She reacted unfavorably about that first Rotten Tomato rating. And I think not that she thought it was too high, that she thought it was too low.
Yes.
But that doesn't matter. We're not here to detective solve that situation.
If we were detectives, I'd be Hoyt, of course.
You'd be Hoyt?
You'd be the cop giving out the fucking parking tickets.
So I think the two lead performances, which this movie is really focused around, are so fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I really think that Ethan Hawke is underratedly great as Hoyt because he is, the straight man to everything that Denzel Washington is doing. But Denzel Washington, the more I read about how much of this was improv by him, it's such an impressive performance. And I used to say, Training Day was makeup for the fact that he hadn't gotten enough Academy Awards for other roles that he had recently done as well. And I'm like, no, he is phenomenal in this movie, and he really makes that character. I also just think, to give David Ayer some of the credit, I think what a great screenplay. The fact that, like I said during our discussion, what saves him is the one act on his own he did that day, how much they try and bend Hoyt and try to break him, and he refuses to.
Yeah, but now you're just putting on airs.
It's a movie watch before you die for me. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it all comes down to me. So I'll say this. I did not want to watch this. It felt, first I was like, I don't give a fuck about football. Right. So absolutely not. Then I was like, oh, this is 2 hours. Like, I'm not really interested in this. And then I found out it was not uplifting. And I was like, this is going to be a tough sell. As the movie started, I was actually painting my fingernails. Thanksgiving's coming up. I got to look presentable.
But she got one color.
I know. One is a different color. So I'm sitting.
Is there
right
a
where
reason
I'm
for
sitting
that?
right
Is it
now.
like a Penn Jillette thing?
No, although I love that reference. No, I just bought two different colors, and as I was going, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if like my ring finger was the other color? And then halfway through, I was like, this isn't really all that cool, but now I'm stuck with it. So in the beginning, like I'm talking like first scenes, I'm painting my nails. And what I find is that as it's going on, I'm spending a lot less time painting my nails and a lot more time like staring at the screen, which is unusual because obviously I think just in modern society our attention spans are just not as good as they used to be. So this movie hooked me in right away. I definitely learned some disturbing things about myself in terms of like how much I was just so in on everything Alonzo said. I was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. I'd do it. Absolutely. Why is he being such a bitch about this? Just come on, just say you shot him. Definitely a journey of self-discovery. But there are two things that really stuck out to me. The first is obviously the performance by Denzel. And I think it has been a long time since I've studied the craft of like developing a character and, you know, being so entwined with another person that you can confidently make those choices as that person, right? But what it seemed like to me was that Denzel knew things about that character that nobody else knew. So he had secrets, he had backstories, he had ulterior motives that never make it to the screenplay, that make this role feel so real. And so there's never a moment where you're like, oh, that's a weird choice, or like that doesn't really work for me. It is as if you are watching a documentary, right? It's like you're watching a real person make real decisions. So that was incredible. And then additionally, I think the screenplay and the fact that it was so captivating and so never a dull moment, never a stretch, never a like, oh God, that could have been it, right? And now they're kind of dragging this along. It felt like every minute of that 2 hours was accounted for. It didn't take long to get into the action. I am going to bestow upon this film one of the highest honors, which is that I feel about this movie the same way that I feel about Die Hard.
So
I fucking loved it.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to watch it again. It was so good. Now, I probably won't anytime soon because that was heavy.
Yeah.
But it was so good. I said to Corey today, I feel like the person who's walking around in 2025 going, I can't believe Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. Like
that Denzel's pretty good.
Denzel is so good. Training Day is such a good movie.
It's a movie to this day. Whenever it comes on, if it's on halfway through, even I'm like, all right, I'm putting this on.
One thing I forgot about too, because you're talking about how much he developed the character. Terry Crews said at one point that he was like, I got to see Denzel's script at one point, and he had written on his own on there, the wages of sin is death. And apparently, like, whatever that means, it sounds serious. There was apparently at some point producers were like, what if we have Harris live so that maybe we can do more with this? And I think it was Denzel specifically who said, my character is evil. He has to die. Ooh. After all this, he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think it wouldn't have been the same if not.
But I did say to Zach yesterday, I was like, but I could see them making a prequel of like Harris when he was Hoyt and how he was turned to the dark side, you know?
That would be cool.
You know, Star Wars prequels to his original Star Wars, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. Played by Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm. I'd watch that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See? Last thing I'll say just on the subject is, you know, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. As of Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, it's Die Hard season, baby. I'm psyched.
Yeah, but at some point we should do another Die Hard. We should do Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I would like to. I want more, but it has to be as good.
Advent thing I had for Die Hard.
Have you seen that, the Advent calendar where it's Hans Gruber falling off Nakatomi Plaza?
You lower him. Yeah.
That's so cool. I am obsessed. I've already started using the GIFs. Welcome to the party, pal, and like all of those.
Come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs.
Fish with your toes.
Well, Dylan, you want to say the things we say?
Show her the watch.
God damn it.
Bill Booby, this is radio, not television.
If you want to, you can send us an email at movieswatchforyoudie@gmail.com. If you want to make any recommendations, tell us anything about this episode, you can send voice messages there. If you want, you can visit in the description below the Holopods podcasting network with our podcasting friends. You can find the link tree for all the links to find us anywhere. You can find Gab's Venmo if you want to throw a couple shekels our way.
Please do.
And if you're a woman bustier than Salma Hayek, feel free to reach out to me.
So I can pass it along to Zach, yes. And we also have merch. Zach has merch.
I got merch.
I'll
sign it for you for free if you're bustier than Salma Hayek.
In person only. I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
Funny thing about my autograph pen is it's my penis.
Oh.
Oh, God. Cut it.
Transmission to Dylan and to the podcast. Fun fact we forgot to add. Lisa Loeb, stay, I missed you. You say I only do what I want to. The music video for that was directed in one take by Ethan Hawke, who was her friend at the time in Hollywood. And the cat in the video is Ethan Hawke's cat. Please add to this podcast. Bye.
Get me an ambulance.
Hey. You want to go to jail or you want to go home? All right, here's the scenario, all right? Let me quarterback this thing.